Australia's a great country. I think when you've been away for so long and you do come back, you do appreciate it. My name is Cliff Brown. I've been in Singapore for 12 years and now back.
The Inferno's giving it a race. The Inferno is burning today and won it. Cliff Brown returns to the training ranks in Australia with a bang.
The reason for going to Singapore was that Joe and I were on the farm. We had 3 kids, and I thought it was going to give us a good lifestyle as well as enhancing my career. We only had 1 horse probably for the first 3 or 4 months. It was a slow start, but by the end of it, it went really well. For the kids, I think it was amazing. You know, they learned a different language. They got to see a lot of the world.
I lived in Singapore for 10 years. Came back here for my last 3 years of school. Well, Singapore's a great spot to be raised. Dad made it possible, and it was his obligation to get home from work at least by 4 o'clock, and we kicked the footy in our backyard in Singapore for a couple hours every night.
Does have bad feet, like we had to scratch out.
We made the decision to come back to Australia shortly after Christmas in 2020.
How was your right, Kane?
Yeah, it really nice this morning.
We hadn't seen the kids for 12 months. It didn't look like we were going to be able to see them without massive amounts of quarantine, and that inability to get back when you needed to changed how we felt about living there. Starting the business again's been very difficult. You know, I had the horses from Singapore coming back, and especially Inferno, so I needed somewhere I could go straight and start training. And then I looked at Mornington and the trainers that were here, and all of them had a good horse, and I thought they must be good safe tracks, things like that, and so far it has been good. Bringing Inferno back to Australia was part of the overall reason for coming, and I felt I had a horse that I could bring back and compete with, and that is Inferno. Inferno in Singapore was clearly the best horse there.
He's more travelled than the average Australian, you know. He's been to Hong Kong, been to Singapore, been to New Zealand, and then back here. He's a very intelligent horse, and he loves it in here, and yeah, it's going well.
He's settled in really well into Australia. I think it's important to keep in context that he really hasn't been back in Australia yet for 12 months racing, and he'll only keep improving. Inferno has a unique ability to quicken, and he did that when he won the McEwen. You know, that was a good, sharp 1,000-metre race, so that's the mark of a good horse. The Goodwood will be a really interesting race. You know, there's going to be some nice horses in it. Barrier draws will come into it as well. But I think if we're right and we're at our best, he's going to run very well. We've got 25 in work now. The young horses are coming through. We're a barn full of young horses. So when you've got young horses, you do have a bit of hope and expectation. There's a horse called Yaffet, and I think he's run really well on several occasions. I think he's a really nice horse. And the other horse is an unraced horse called Von Hauck, Savabeel colt, 2-year-old, and he's one of those horses, as a young horse, he could show what he could do very naturally. He may get somewhere in the future. In 5 years' time, I don't want a big team. I don't, but I'd like them to be quality, and that's what Singapore was.